welcome back to the Hideout, you guys. I'm so glad you guys can make it. And as you can see from the description and from the title of this video, this will be my Jujutsu Kaisen Cour 1 review. So I'm not making this nothing spectacular. This ain't gonna be nothing scripted, none of that. This is off the dome because let me tell y'all, the way I want to talk about this first Cour, fuck a script. Okay, I'm not finna do no whole drawn out, make it sound like I'm smart, talk about the intricacies and the no, I'm finna just tell y'all this shit was raw. All right, this shit was raw. Down from episode 1 to episode 13, the first Cour, the whole first Cour was raw. And so how I want to kind of structure this is I'm not doing episode by episode. I'm just going to talk about the highlights of the season because the whole thing was perfection, right? Every single episode was adapted well. Every single episode was translated well. And when I say translated, I don't mean the actual translations. Y'all went ham on that Crunchyroll translator, boy. Y'all ate her ass up. Y'all ate her ass up. She deserved it kind of though, because she started talking crazy to y'all. Like, she wasn't even on some like, oh, y'all, that was just a misunderstanding, not my thing. Shorty said, y'all are misinterpreting the scene.
Oh my God.
We doing what? That's crazy. I am shit, nigga. You ain't read the manga, but we misinterpreted the scene? That was deep. Yeah. Shorty asked for that one. I'm just gonna put my personal opinion out there. Shorty asked for that one. But other than that, how do I want to say this? I would have to say that Mappa and Gege Akutami, because Gege Akutami did a lot of like, you know, work on this as well, from storyboarding to, you know, saying stuff like, do this, I want this director, I want stuff like that. I think that Akutami is so unique. Akutami is so unique, right, in everything that they do. And I think that, excuse me, my nose running, but I think that when it comes to this anime, it was so well done because of the passion of Mappa. And Mappa's passion level just was there. Like, they didn't miss, right? Like, they didn't miss in terms of like just keeping things so close to home in terms of the manga, the original source material. Like, they did such a good job of like, of just making you feel like you was watching the manga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you legit know this is the anime adaptation to Jujutsu Kaisen. And it feels like that. It didn't feel like they cut stuff out so it can fit for anime only. They didn't sit there and go, oh, you know what, let's change this so it can feel different. They did change and add certain things, like in episode 13, them adding Sukuna actually saying, I don't care if you die, looking at Nanami, and I don't care if you die, looking at Mahito. Aside from him, and it shows Megumi, I truly don't care. And it's kind of just impressive because it was a nice change now that people who, instead of adding that narrator like from the manga, Sukuna straight up says it. So now people understand, okay, yeah, Sukuna has an interest in Megumi. Oh shit, like that makes it very clear cut, makes it very obvious for anime onlys. And for us who manga readers who already know he has that interest, now we're looking like, oh shit, this nigga just straight said it. It's a very great touch, you know? Even doing things with Junpei, like the added little moments with Junpei when he was getting bullied, you know, and just giving him that more characterization. I hate Junpei, and the extra characterization did nothing for me to like him more. It actually kind of made me like him even less because I see he was standing up for himself, but not really standing up for yourself. You can be a smart aleck and say whatever you want to people, but when people are putting their hands on you, bro, when are you gonna fight back? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. You can't be out here acting like you smarter than everybody, you better than everybody, but letting yourself get beat the fuck up. Throw some hands. Like, even if you gonna get beat up while throwing hands, throw some hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really doesn't make any point of you acting like you just so much better than people and you're not even defending yourself for real. No, but that's a whole different thing with Junpei. I'm not even gonna get in him because but other than that, they were doing so many things that just makes you so proud of being a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, down to the animation moments, down to Sukuna versus Gojo and them stretching that fight out, down to just seeing just like the simplest things, like seeing Todo versus Megumi and that fight feeling way more intricate, you know, down to just Maki and Nobara talking in that little scene that was nothing added to it, but just seeing it animated felt so fresh because of how good the voice actors are and how good the animation looks. And the Jujutsu samples, the Jujutsu scrolls, you know, at the end of them, and it's just these awesome characterization moments of our characters, whether they be the curses and get to kicking Jogo's head like a soccer ball, or Yuji, Megumi cooking and telling everybody Yuji taught him how to do it, and then Yuji in the same scene, Yuji telling Gojo, yeah, thanks, these meatballs are good. You know, I taught Megumi how to do it. I really missed them. Like, these really cool things that Mappa was doing throughout this entire first core that I just pray and beg that they do for the rest of core 2. Like, I just really hope that nothing changes. They have the same staff. People are putting that same passion in, but it seems like it won't change. It seems like they're keeping that animation consistent. I mean, even the CGI adding for the Sukuna moment at the end chapter episode 13 was just beautiful. Like, the CGI looked so fluid, it looked so clean. Even when Mahito got hit with his CGI with his neck, everything still looked clean and fluid, and it looked like they was just trying to grab you. You know, Junpei, even when Junpei has those talking to Yuji at his house, and they start laughing about Castaway, and it's just so many moments that Mappa animated so well. Like, they animated the entire thing extremely well. You know, even the funny moments of seeing Panda throw Nobara during training. Like, these small moments hit so hard. You know, like, they make these small moments hit so hard because they bring it such to life. It's not just animating something, it's really brought to life. You can tell the team, down from the voice actors to the directing to the animators to the soundboard team, everyone has a passion for Jujutsu Kaisen, and you can tell that. It's very palpable in this first core. Very, very palpable. The episodes I have to highlight have to be, I think it's episode 8 and 9. I could be wrong, but that's the Gojo versus Jogo. I mean, it was just fantastic. Them adding the fighting scene in the forest. And at first, I was kind of disappointed because I really would not like heavily. It's not on some Mappa, on some like, damn, I wish they would have did that, because I really wanted them to. I really want that scene of Gojo kicking Jogo through the forest. Then Jogo's eyes panning in, seeing Gojo like, caught you, but he didn't, and Gojo's pants behind him like, no, nigga, and then kicks this nigga, then flashes him into the water. It didn't it happened like that, but not exactly like that. He was beating his ass through the forest, like, actually, then throws him in the air and then kicks him in the water. It wasn't on some like one hit, he's crashing through multiple trees, and then he pops up like, I'm gonna hit you, and then Gojo's like, no, fool, I'm not there. Then kicks him in the water. But either way, they still took these moments and they was like, okay, cool, flashiness, and they made it flashy. Like, I don't know, everybody was talking about Kimetsu no Yaiba. Jujutsu Kaisen beat that animation, period. We ain't even get to the, like, and it took episode 19 for Kimetsu no Yaiba to get that giant, like, oh, whoa, this is crazy. We only got 13, and people were eating episode 13 up. And I am so ready, because next core, we got the Goodwill event. It's about to be crazy. But back to the first core and just how amazing it is. Even the moments with Megumi, the added moment where Megumi slams the door in Yuji's head in chapter, like episode 2 or 3, right? That entirely added moment, but it so shows their relationship, right? That initial relationship when they first meet each other, where he's all like, "Dude, I told you you're not welcome." Like, slams it on his head. Like, it's so amazing. It's so clean. And then like Nobara coming in, and Nobara and Yuji's first interactions, and like the way they have their conversation with each other while they're in that abandoned building, and then Nobara getting her spotlight, and it just felt like I was an anime only watching it, because I knew exactly what was happening. I knew every screen cap, because they really kind of did a 1-to-1. Like, I felt like it was almost like a 1-to-1 thing where they added like certain thing changes, but it really felt like it was a 1-to-1. And so sitting there and seeing these scenes, I felt like an anime only. Like, I felt like this was my first time seeing it, even though I knew it wasn't, because it just felt so lively. Like, if I was so into everything being said. And then them adding, even before then, when they're adding Gojo and Yuji talking, and at first in the manga, it's just them outside talking, outside the cremate place to cremate his grandfather. They was just outside talking, and then the anime decides to transition it to where while Yuji's putting the ashes and bones of his grandfather inside of the urn, Gojo's still talking to him, and Yuji's still talking about his revelations, talking about the things that he wants to do, choosing the decision that he wants to make. And I think that is what makes, that was that sign to me that Mappa was not taking this lightly, and that they understood the psychological weight behind Jujutsu Kaisen. There is a psychological weight behind Jujutsu Kaisen, and I think Mappa understands that. Everything they did, they made it understandable. Them adding the movie, that Junpei was watching in the theater, and he's talking about the character in the movie, he's talking about the soul and the body minutes before Mahito shows up. That's all purposeful. You know what I mean? That's all done on purpose. None of that is what you would say like just coincidence. You know, they knew what they were doing. They purposefully added that because they understand that this was a homage to his character. That Mahito was a character based around soul, based around the connection between the soul and the body in his relationship. And they honed in on that. They gave Mahito the necessary weight that he needed and deserves as the type of character that he is within Jujutsu Kaisen. The way they even animated episode 12, where Yuji going into that red state, looking like Gon and Chimera and Arc, the way they animated it with the white screen and the black, like, that's not a coincidence. I think they did that on purpose, personally. But they did all of that. And then Yuji narrating to himself, in that moment, I said some words that I didn't even think about. It was just truly how I felt. And the reason why he says that, the reason why they added him saying that, was because you have to understand the weight behind a 15-year-old boy who ain't never said nothing like this in his life, saying, I will kill you. And he's not saying that to another person. He's saying it to a curse. So he sees this curse as a person. He ain't saying I'm going to exercise you. He said I'm going to kill you. And that was what made Mahito go, don't you mean exercise, Jujutsu sorcerer? You know what I'm saying? And Yuji's like, no, I mean kill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to kill him. That's his goal. That's his plan. You know, even the moment where Sakuna and Mahito laughs at Yuji, the color scheme choices, the red for Sakuna, the purple for Mahito, them laughing at him, and the colors combined at once laughing at him, and Yuji realizing, oh shit, I'm dealing with like the opposition. This is the opposition is inside my body and outside my body. You know, those type of realizations that Yuji was coming to is what makes Jujutsu Kaisen good, and Mappa hones in on it. Like, Mappa is like, okay, we're gonna make sure this is standing out. We're gonna make sure this is important, and you guys realize how important this is. You know, even down to them animating fucking Megumi's shadows, like it kind of like Nue coming out of, looking like it's coming out of his back. Like, it's so cool. Like, the way they just did everything. I can't even, I needed an hour just to break, if I was to try to break down every single episode and the great things added in every single episode. But overall, I just wanted to touch on things that clearly show how different Jujutsu Kaisen Cour 1 is from many other anime adaptations, where they're not trying to do some one-to-one thing. Like, Hunter x Hunter 2011 was a one-to-one, except for the beginning. They didn't do chapter 1 right. They didn't do really chapter 1 right, and they kind of messed up like around some stuff in chapter 10, right? And because they didn't do chapter 1 right, inherently it messed up those other chapters, because you don't introduce Kite in the beginning. You can't randomly just introduce him and Jagan knows him at some random time. He has to act like he doesn't know him the whole time. So that messes up the original manga adaptation and how important Kite was as a character to Gon. Gon knew entirely who Kite was throughout all of Hunter x Hunter. He knew who Kite was. There wasn't some, like, when he seen him, it was magically, oh, I remember you. No, it was like, oh my God, Kite. Like, he knew who he was, right? But with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's different. There's none of those type of changes. You know, it stays to the manga consistently. There's no things that are left out. There's none of this. If anything, there's stuff added in so you feel more connected to the characters. You feel more connected to the things that they're doing, and you feel more connected to the world. And that's what Mappa focused on, I feel like. Mappa knew, okay, we're going to do these scenes right and add our flair. But what can we do as an anime company, you know, to add, to showcase us, you know, and to showcase our understanding of Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think that is what makes it such a special adaptation, because they showed how much they understood Jujutsu Kaisen throughout the entire Cour. And I can't wait to see them show that even more in Cour 2 with Goodwill. I think Goodwill is going to be the whole Cour. I'm hoping it's the whole Cour. Please don't get the Origin of Obedience mapper. Let Origin of Obedience, Hidden Inventory, and that other stuff be a good season two starter. That would be a beautiful way to start season 2 with Origin of Obedience. But let Goodwill be the end of season 1. Now, of course, they probably already got this planned out. I'm just speaking on what I'm hoping and what I'm feeling, because I just was so impressed with this first Cour, and it doesn't have to be another 31 chapters adapted. They adapted 31 chapters in 13 episodes. So that's more than 2 chapters an episode. If you did 2 chapters an episode, you only had 26. Mappa killed this. They killed this with their pacing. And also because Jujutsu Kaisen's manga, a lot of times it's just, hands, my nigga. A lot of these chapters just be hands. So that's why I think Goodwill, that's why I said they might get past Goodwill's second Cour, because Goodwill's a lot of hands. It's some talking. It's some talking in the beginning for sure, but it's a lot of hands. And I think because it's a lot of hands, they can get through it fast. But I don't want them to. I want them to keep doing what they're doing, though. And if keep doing what they're doing, it means good content, and then we still get past Goodwill in Cour 2, I ain't mad. If the content is still in that same level of Cour 1, I can't be upset, because Cour 1 was perfection. A 10 out of 10 Cour. There was not a mistake. There was nothing that I felt like was like, why'd y'all do that? Nothing. There was not a thing. Everything was done to the T. I'm just impressed. I'm so impressed with Mappa. I'm so impressed with Akutami's way of handling being part of the anime team. I'm so impressed with their choices. I'm just impressed with everything that has anything to do with Jujutsu Kaisen at this point. I'm just impressed. I'm just overall impressed, shook to a degree. Like, it's just greatness. And I really just love this Cour. And I wanted to get this video out so that you guys got the real me discussing how I felt about it. Not some, like, me typing out not big words, but typing out intricate wording, or trying to explain myself well in a professional fashion. No, I want to come to you guys as me, come to you guys as this, right? As this greatness of what Jujutsu Kaisen brought to us. And I love the first Cour. Mappa, y'all went crazy. I love it. Crazy. I love all of you guys. Voice actors, y'all went crazy. Y'all went crazy. Y'all didn't miss a beat. Y'all didn't miss nothing. Y'all are raw. I love the whole staff of the year. I'm just staff of the year. I love it. It was fantastic. I don't even know what else to say. I just wanted to rave and rant about just how amazing that this first Cour was. And I'll be doing the same with Cour 2 if it's the exact same way. So once again, you guys, thank you so much for coming back to the Hideout. If you are new here and just checked out this video to check it out, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Okay, you know what I mean? Come back, cause I be lonely. No, I don't be lonely. I like being by myself. I'm gonna stop lying. But please come back to the Hideout. We be having fun over here. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. If there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, always hit in the comments below. Anything you want to say, make sure you hit the comments below. If you don't like this video, hit the dislike button. It's there for a reason. All power to you. But once again, it is me, Doncho. Thank you so much for being here.
Young noise.